Hey guys, Bowie here, and before this video starts, I'm proud to tell you about Upcomer. They are a great tool for Dota and esports fans that want to stay up to date about what's going on in the scene. Don't know who that stand-in is? The player that you like so much is not playing in a team anymore. You want to know if there's any games you're interested in going on? They got you. Check the video description and the pinned comment for both iOS and Android links. Hey guys, Bowie here, and this is the first video I'm dropping about my road to 6k MMR. For a while, I never cared about MMR that much. I used to play a lot of Dota before I started making these videos about 3 to 4 years ago. And even then, I was playing Dota 2 for about a year. And in that time, I felt like the combination of casting, making videos, and being burned out made gaining MMR extremely stressful and hard for me. I'm at a point in my career where I got very little success, at least talent-wise, and I'm trying to improve on everything that I still see as flaws. English, accent, MMR, they are all problems I have, and this series is a good way to still make videos while trying to fix all of that and becoming a better Dota 2 talent. Anyways, if you don't know, I play on South American servers, meaning with the same MMR you can get in games like this one, and I was using strict solo matchmaking for this. So yeah, no party game whatsoever. You have games like this, and you have games like this one. The game I selected to talk about today is not particularly high MMR, it's about 5k average, maybe 4.9, but it's also a challenge in itself. By the way, this is my Smurf, my main account is at the moment DIV3, but since I was playing in the evening, playing on the higher MMR account would make almost no difference anyways. This Sven game was interesting. Let's talk about the pick first. I had 8th pick this game, knowing I was against a PL, Pango, Shaker, and Lion. Sven felt like a good pick. It is a natural counter to PL, can burst down Lion once Blink BKB is up, or only Blink, and right now is one of the best carries around, so I was pretty okay with the pick. The answer was Alina, which can offer some problems in the mid game, but definitely not a hero I was afraid of. My coach is a big defender of the 4 branch build in the early game. While people like getting a mango on Sven, because, you know, kill potential, in his opinion, it forces low MMR players into the wrong mindset of what the laning stage really is supposed to be about. Kill potential is great, but in a bracket where supports and even you can easily mass with creep equilibrium, it means that having the option to force kills might just give the offlaner free levels he would not have just because of, you know, how weird the creeps end up behaving when bad players are doing their stuff. There's also more to it. You get more HP regen, you actually get better damage, and because you have 4 branches, technically, you're getting even more HP regen with your tangos in the lane, whilst using all of those stats before you get the regen. So it's just pretty good, and I think when you're not trying to give any room for errors. By the way, after my support dies here, note how I draw aggro countless times, changing the creep equilibrium from a super awkward position to a way better one. This is the type of game where the laning stage was inherently going to be messy, and you just have to accept that sometimes. So, I feel like I'm farming decently in this game. Note that I stunned Pango here just because there's a good wave to deal damage to him. Focusing in denying experience and trading well is oftentimes more beneficial than just focusing on kills alone. You can see that again here, where I hit the Pango, messing with the creeps, yes, but since there's way more dire creeps than radiant creeps, I know I can get away with that. The laning stage ends up being pretty okay for me. Stacking with Zen is super important, so instead of pressuring the tower here, I decide to stack. I end up messing the timing. I use the stun to get the timing right, but I block it myself because of the spawn boxes. So yeah, that was a pretty bad play. At this stage, there's nowhere worthy of ulting, and the lane is still quite safe for me, so I stay there instead of rotating to the jungle, and we end up getting a kill on the Pangolier with the ult. Since apparently Pango blocked the camp, the only play I have instead of TPing to the triangle and farming is pressuring the tower, and I do just that. I end up dying in a super dumb way to the Pangolier, and that's when I decide to rotate away from the bottom lane. Normally, this is what happens. Safe lane becomes unsafe after the lane stage breaks, and the offlaner is supposed to farm that area. My Wraith King was quite understanding about it. He changes lanes with me, and I start pressuring PL while farming top. Top is way safer for a multitude of reasons. The triangle top is in the high ground with a shrine, So not only I can see rotations, if I get smoke ganked, there is a chance for me to be saved. There are more camps close to each other, so I farm faster, and there's also an ancient, while having both mid and top available for farming, which is definitely not true if you're farming the bottom part of the map. This was a rather frustrating game though. Our support Wind Ranger said she did not want it to buy wards. My Nature's Prophet didn't speak any languages, so when I wanted him to tank the Ancients for me with his treants, he just didn't respond to me at all. But all of these things are minimal, and time again I have to be reminded that despite any mistakes you see, there's always things under your control. The decision of being top, for instance, made sure I did not die during the entire mid-game, whilst stealing camps from the PL that refused to leave his safe lane. Eventually, I was able to call Kanka to help me farm the stack, and I'm pretty close to my Echo Saber. See again how I can constantly contest PL's farm, and he has no chance to fight back. I mean, he can hit me, but I have a tier 1 tower way closer to this camp than he has one, so I always have the upper hand fighting for stuff like this, provided I have vision of other heroes around the map. And I mean, after saying all of that, I'm TPing bottom. What the hell, Bowie? Well, you might be confused, so if you rewind a little bit, you can see that the Pangolier not only TP'd top, he ulted top, and more heroes followed suit. This means that now PL has to share farm with that Pangolier, or he has to TP to the other side of the map, and even if he does, now there's no kill potential on me, since all of the skills were used top, and everyone on the Dire side would have to walk for days to reach me there, making my death not worthy at all. This is one of those things that are very easy to understand, but way harder to execute because it means you have to play as well as you normally do, but you have to be paying attention to TPs, to cooldowns, and rotations. But when you start to understand how to play the map better, things click on a pretty different level. After that TP, a fight happens mid, and while this tip might seem bad since everyone is already dead, the fact that we group and take this tower is super important. The tier 1 top is still up, and that's a big problem. So we at least open up the map here, whilst being together and ready to rosh, since we have the Wraith King lifesteal aura. This is another terrible play from the Nature's Prophet. He refused to bring his treants to help, and to bring his Blightstone that would speed up the process, but still, this is the right call, it just took a little longer. Maybe as a Sven player, you would feel tempted to get a BKB this game before Blink. Not only the mana drain on Lion and PL is awful against you, you should be killing the PL, right? You picked Sven because he counters PL, and that's true, but that doesn't mean you actually want to be initiating on the PL. With BKB, I can man-fight the PL, but he has no reason to man-fight me, and it's very easy for him to just retreat. Blink Dagger gives me the chance to burst down the stuns on the enemy team. Lina and Lion, they offer a lot of damage, but they're super squishy, and I have to jump them before BKB because it's quite likely that I can stun plus 2-shot them with Echo Saber. And as long as PL doesn't have stuns in the teamfight anymore, I can fight him later, even without mana. Anyways, we kill Pangolier Metal, and notice how the call to push the tower is instant. In fact, since I ulted, I have nothing to do with my team jumping for more heroes here. I get the tower, and I get out. And one thing you have to understand is that deciding which fights are viable and which are not is 10,000 times more important than increasing your GPM, thread switching, or whatever. And you know, we took a tier 2 tower, we lost heroes in their base, and this means that if Dire wants to push, we will have our heroes up and our ults back, and that's exactly what happens. Since I did not die here, I can easily kill and ult the Lina with this TP reaction, and follow that up with another tier 2 tower in the bottom side of the map. It takes some discipline, but when you understand that leaving your teammates to die is not always bad, you're gonna grow a lot as a player. Still, this was an awfully executed push. They were like jungling Ancients, and if the enemy team was better, I'm pretty sure they could have tried to punish us somehow. With still the right call when we do get the tower. Another very important thing is coordinating your team in advance about your next power spike. I find that if you want to smoke right away, players often don't follow suit because, you know, their minds are somewhere else. But in this game, I told them that Radiance on Wraith King and my BKB were the timings that we wanted, and we coordinated that pretty well. Nature's Prophet and Wind Ranger were kind of AFK. Unfortunately, the smoke ends up being very bad. We find the worst hero possible to go at. I tried my best here, I do my job of killing either the lion or the Lina, but I did not click on the Earth Shaker before chasing him down. I felt like I could kill him and blink to the trees and TP out. He had an HP booster because he's going A on disc, and I killed myself. Terrible mistake. But still a mistake on their side of the map. Well, we did get the tower. The call was right, but my execution was horrendous. After that death, I realized we're still mega strong, and I myself buy a smoke so we can fight again. The problem though is that supports were off by getting aggressive vision, meaning the smokes we were going for were wishful thinking at best. Nature's Prophet does get vision of the PL on the other side of the shrine. And once again, thanks to Blink BKB, I can burst down Lina. Once she buys back though, it's time to get out. It's actually quite greedy what I do going back, and that's when I realize the Aeon Disc being up on the Shaker, and I get out. This propels Dire towards the Roshan Pit, and the way we contest this is actually pretty good. Dire had two options there, pushing middle or going Roshan. Since mid is not pushing, it's just clear that they are there or jungling, but the scan confirms that they are indeed Roshan. Even though I know that Roshan is being taken, I don't have my ult, so I can't just jump the pit. It's just suicide. We can fight heroes that are away from there though. And I really wanted the Lina to die back, but that proves to be too hard. Even still, we made sure that they cannot push after getting the Aegis, which is great, whilst not killing ourselves because we were just not ready to contest Roshan. That also gives us 4 bounties because everyone collapsed bottom, and I had TP to get all of the other bounties and vision on the shrine to know that I was safe and farm that area again. In terms of itemization, Assault is almost always the right item after Blink BKB. Cleave now gets affected by armor and minus armor, and the attack speed is just great on you. Still, Dire has the Aegis, so we had to either wait the Aegis out or outplay them, and in my opinion that's what happens here. Note that PL shows up, but that's clearly not the hero I want. Not only he's hard to kill, he actually has Aegis. Bursting down Pango would actually be amazing, but I was self-conscious on whether I had the damage to do that. Shaker has Aeon Disc, so only after seeing the Lina, and that took a while, I actually show up and fight. The fight ends up being great for us, and I do think part of it is the fact that I never showed. And I also realized that I can get my AC and group up to get barracks. Note that no one is pushing bottom by themselves here. This reduces any chances of mistakes happening, and again guys, you don't have to push 2 lanes if you want to get 2 lanes of barracks. You just have to push 1 lane and then get the other one, because as long as creeps are inside the base or close to the base, you're going to be able to do it. Anyways, the game pretty much ends here. I don't think there's too many other things to talk about. Thank you very much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. This new series is something I flirted with for a long time. It gives me way more insight on the plays and calls since I'm the one behind the wheel. And yeah, just let me know if you like this so I can fine-tune the series. Thank you, and I guess bye. Hope this helps you get even more MMR.